Hello and welcome back to this agent framework session where we were going to talk about memory, how you retain the memory and then pass it on as the context. So basically that part of the thing. So last time we have seen the session code, which we will continue to use, but we're going to build the memory provider, context provider. So let's see how we can do that in our Visual Studio. So let us open the Visual Studio and then get us few things sorted. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and create a file called 04 agent, and then I'm gonna call it memories.py. If I say that memories.py, and then I'm just gonna say import async import this. We'll come back to that, and then I'll say from. So now we need to import a couple of things from agent framework. So I'll say from agent framework, import agent, session, context provider, and then session context. Three things. And then I'm going to also import util. I probably need it later, but just do it here. And then after that, I just first define a class called user memory provider. And then I'm going to use this context provider as its inside thing. So I'm not going to just follow what it is giving me as an option. So I just simply discard that. And then here is where I'm going to put a little instruction, a context provider that remembers, stores user memory. Okay, fine. I can take it. All right, so that's fine. And then I'm going to say default source ID. It's a variable I'm going to define, and then gonna say that user memory. I'll take that also, and then I say def init. I'm going to just use the self, not everything. So, and then I'm going to say that super. Okay, so I just initialize that, and then I am good. Now here is where I'm going to say async def before run. So in that, before run, I need couple of parameters to pass. So when I say couple of parameters to pass, this is where you are defining that memory context for the agent which you're gonna go ahead and use, right? So let's pass them on one by one, right? So I'll say self. I don't want to go and then do that. Just say self, and then I'm saying and it's star, and then I say that agent is any, and then I say session is agent session or none, and then I say context is a session context. I can take that, and then state is dictionary, and say str any. That's it. I think I am good at this point in time. Should not be. Let me just Let's give it a none. And then, no, I don't want to take this. So now here is where you're gonna basically go ahead and give a little bit of instruction. So let me put that instruction saying that extract and store user info, sorry, info in session state after each call. You can also say agent call. That's also fine. So that's fine. I'm gonna get this thing and I say for MSG message in context dot in sorry, input context dot put messages, and then I'm gonna just remove this. And if I say that text equals to message dot text if else I don't need this. So I'm getting to get if text, if instance text and str, and I say my name is in text lower. Don't do that. Okay. So what I'm going to say that if is instance text instance, my name is available somewhere in that state username equal to, if I put an arrow, no, it doesn't happen like that. So I'll say text, then lower, then split IT. My name is script is fine. And then I'm gonna take the 0th index and then say capitalize. So I'm gonna retrieve the name from this information and get this displayed basically. That's the purpose. So you can see that this is what it is done. So let me see why the async is giving me a trouble here. Uh, before run, async is defined. Async IO is called async is defined. Let me just quickly check what is going wrong here. I've got to write another thing. Hmm, let me not that just. So I've got this before run self async, and this is what it is. So let me just give the same instruction. Okay. Inject personalization instruction based on store user info. Okay. I can just keep it like that and then say user underscore name equal to state dot get username. If user underscore name is no blank. So then I say context x context dot extend uh, instructions. In that I'm gonna say self dot source ID and uh, you don't know the user ID name, but you can ask them for me. Okay, that's fine. I will take it and then I can just put a comma. Good practice. And then I say else. Or it will maintain the else con context instructions, source ID, the username. Okay, so let me just uh, put a wrong thing. Okay, so when you have the username, then you display the username as the internet personal response. Else, this else is giving trouble here. Else, this else should not. Uh, some indentation issue, I believe. No, 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 I don't know. Okay, so let me see if it doesn't run, we'll handle it. Okay, then we'll come back to this little later, and I think I'm just a bit here and there. Now this is the right indentation. Not still I have a doubt, but let's just leave with it. Okay, so this is where somewhere it got. That's a spelling mistake, basically. I was thinking why it is giving me trouble. Okay, now we are all good. Now we're gonna define another small method called after run. So I'm just hand typing so that you know like what you need to do. So async def after run. In that after run, I'm gonna get the same thing, right? Self, agent, session, string dictionary, and then none. All this same structured as below, sorry, above. So I will just copy this, all these things, and then paste it over here. Now here is where I'm gonna write this thing. I'm gonna say that extract and store user info in session state after each run or call, whatever that may be. So, and then I say for MSG in context messages. Let me just see. No, I don't want this whole thing to be there. A little bit of different logic. So I'll say text message dot text if attribute message text else this if if is instance text string and my name is in lower, not going to type this lower, and then what I'm going to do is that state username text split that say that text dot lower dot split my name is take -1 script dot split take 0 and naive approach they're saying okay fine will go with that. So it's a naive approach. It's also telling that, and then we are done. Now this is where we are we are good at this point in time. So I'm gonna just put a line. So what additionally in this 50 lines of code we have written so far is that just to create the memory provider where my session state will be used. Now what I can do from the previous code, I just copy the whole thing. I think I have got this util already referenced this one. Okay, let me just copy the whole thing. If I copy the whole thing, come back into the fourth one, go a little down and paste the whole uh, bunch here. So what I'm getting client from the util. Well, fine. I don't need that anymore because it's there already. And the agent framework agent, the simple agent is created. Um, I don't know. I don't need the simple agent. So let me, sorry. So this, okay. The simple agent is created. That's fine. And then in the context provider here, I need to say context provider and the user memory. What is the name of that? User memory provider. Same thing I need to provide here. So the user memory provider, right? That's how I initialize my agent. Now I don't need this here. So I will remove it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get this inside. Okay, so I'm saying that I'm going to go ahead and create a session, use the same session, but this time, um, what I'm saying is that I'm saying something different. Let's ask a different question. So let me ask a little math question. What is the square root of 9? If I ask this question, it will give me an answer and the agent will respond with an answer. I will just print a line and then I'm going to say that, you know what? My name is Rachel. That's my name. Okay. And you also get a response with a grading. And then I'm going to say, what, what, another math. What is 2 plus 2? Okay. So I change it a little bit than the previous one. Question mark. So my session, okay, so it's fine. So my session is there. I get basically both of them. And then I am gonna do a little extra thing over here. So what I'm gonna do is that I will say provider state equals to session dot get state dot get. And then I'm gonna say user memory, then initialize with a blank, right? So session dot user state dot get. Okay. So the my session dot state dot get, all fine. And then after that, I'm gonna just print this with a little formatting. So I'm going to say that session state stored username provider state get username. So you see here, what I'm going to do is that the system is identifying this is a name, and it is going to get stored into username and have it there. So what you gonna see here, if you run it in the console, let me just run it in the console. Python 3.04. So many errors. Let me just quickly check what went wrong. Hmm, Something has gone. Okay, so let me just quickly clean this up. Okay, all good. So let me just run it one more time. Which hopefully it should work. So it's, yeah. So it is, you can see now what it is showing is that the first agent respond is that the square root of 9 is 3. By the way, may I know your name? It's asking my name because there is no name in the memory, right? You remember like the before run, we kind of have checked like whether there is a username. If there is no username, then you don't know the username yet, ask politely. So it is asking politely, what is my name? Okay. And then nice to meet you, Alice. If you have any questions, so I mentioned my name is Alice. I just find that's fine. Now let me run this in the DevUI to have a little better experience. Okay, so if I may, then go ahead and let's say run it in the dev UI. How did I run it here? So let me just copy. Did I run it here? No, in the tools maybe. So I will just take the whole bunch of it and I will just quickly check if I can. Yeah, that's fine. Now what we can do, we can, I can just change it, run it, dev UI. Hopefully this will open up the dev UI, and the dev UI got opened here. So you can see that. Let me just remove this black thing and then make it light so that it's kind of okay for everybody's eye. And then I'm gonna ask this question. What is the capital? Now I'm not telling my name, huh, of the Netherlands. Okay, so the agent is going to respond and also going to ask, may I know your name? Okay, so my name is Richu. All right. Okay, nice to meet you, Richu. If you have any other question, and just feel free to. So, what is the SQR root of? I just did a little quick message, and it understood that I wanted to ask the square root, and then it's still 7, 10, the square root, something else, and it is always recognizing me, right? And just calling by my name. It's like a sort of like a personalized. If I would have started this whole conversation with my name, then it will not ask. So let me show you that. So if I say that, good day, my name is Ritu. Okay, now how can I assist you today? I need to know how much is 200 plus 800. Okay, it's gonna do that. So hello again, Riju. The sum of 200 and 800 is 1000. If you need help, anything else, please feel to ask. I'm fine for now. Many thanks. What is your name, by the way, if I ask this question? Because I want to know who that person is who is talking to them. No, I'm an AI language model created assist you with that. So it's kind of like telling me that it's human being. So it's kind of like nice, right? Because if let's assume that there's another human being talking to me, asking my name and greeting with my name, it is a rude thing to be continuing as a machine, right? So I just thought to check that with this. So this is the quick demo on how you define the context and continue your conversation so that it looks personalized.